Every single time I've tried to do it privately, there have been briefings and leakings and planting of stories against me and my wife. And that correspondent will literally be spoon-fed information and write the story, and then at the bottom of it, they will say that they've reached out to Buckingham Palace for comment.
For years, tensions between Prince Harry and his father, King Charles III, have simmered beneath the surface. What once seemed like a strong father-son bond has unraveled, with each public revelation deepening the divide.
They didn't want him to be a prince or a princess, not knowing what the gender would be, which would be different from protocol, and that he wasn't going to receive security.
What?
It was really hard.
The monarchy, long built on tradition and discretion, now finds itself at a crossroads, with one of its own threatening to shake its very foundation. Harry and Meghan's decision to step away from royal life in 2020 was a historic turning point. Dubbed Megxit, their departure marked one of the greatest scandals to hit the monarchy in modern times. While they insisted their exit was about freedom and personal well-being,
I need to do this for my family. This is not a surprise to anybody. It's really sad that it's got to this point, but I've got to do something for my own mental health, for my wife's, and for Archie's as well, because I could see where this was headed.
Many within the palace saw it as a betrayal. But what finally pushed King Charles to his breaking point? Rumors swirl of a final warning issued behind palace doors. A last chance for Harry to reconcile before facing permanent consequences. As the king struggles to maintain control, the question remains, is the monarchy on the verge of collapse, or is this the beginning of a new royal era? While King Charles tries to hold his family together, the passing of Queen Elizabeth II changed everything, leaving behind a monarchy in turmoil. The fallout from Queen Elizabeth's passing. The death of Queen Elizabeth II in September 2022 marked the end of an era. As the longest reigning monarch in British history, she had been the glue holding the royal family together. With her gone, long-standing tensions within the House of Windsor were laid bare, and no relationship felt the strain more than that of King Charles and Prince Harry. Reports suggest that Harry was left out of major discussions following the Queen's passing. Despite flying to the UK in time to say his final goodbyes, he was allegedly not included in key royal plans. Some even claim that he learned of his grandmother's death through the media rather than from his own family. Adding to the speculation, Meghan Markle's inheritance, or rather the lack thereof, was widely discussed. While other royal family members received assets, Meghan appeared to have been excluded. Whether this was an intentional decision by the Queen or simply the result of royal protocols remains unclear, but it only fueled the belief that Harry and Meghan were being pushed further from the monarchy. With the Queen gone, King Charles was left to navigate the royal family's fractured relationships, and his frustrations with Harry and Meghan only grew stronger. King Charles's growing frustration with Harry and Meghan. Even before Queen Elizabeth's passing, King Charles had struggled to contain his disappointment with Harry. Behind palace doors, numerous private discussions took place as Charles attempted to reason with his son, urging him to reconsider his choices. One of the biggest breaking points was the infamous Oprah interview in 2021. Harry and Meghan's accusations of racism within the royal family and claims of mistreatment sent shockwaves through the monarchy. While Charles publicly maintained his composure, insiders reported that he was deeply hurt by the allegations. Then came Spare, Harry's memoir, which laid bare private family disputes, casting Charles and William in an unflattering light. The king reportedly felt betrayed, unable to believe that his own son would publicly air the family's most intimate conflicts. As tensions escalated, Charles knew he had to take action, leading to the warning that would shock the world. Behind palace doors, Charles reportedly delivered a final ultimatum to Harry. But what exactly did the king say? And how did it change everything? The warning that shocked the world. According to royal insiders, King Charles issued a direct warning to Prince Harry. Either step back from public attacks against the monarchy or face serious consequences. The message was clear. The royal family's patience had run out. There were even whispers of exile. Could Charles strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles? While some saw this as an empty threat, others believed the king was prepared to take drastic action to protect the monarchy. This warning was not just a personal plea. It was a strategic move to secure the future of the crown. By putting pressure on Harry, Charles sent a message that no one, not even his own son, was above the institution. But would Harry and Meghan comply or fight back? As Charles sought to contain the damage, William and Kate were left to handle the fallout, taking on more responsibility than ever before. The royal families struggle to contain the damage. The monarchy's reputation has always been carefully managed, but Harry and Meghan's actions made it harder than ever to control the public narrative. With King Charles focused on stabilizing the institution, Prince William and Kate Middleton were forced into damage control. William, now the central figure in the monarchy's future, has remained largely silent on the issue. However, his presence at royal engagements and his growing leadership role indicate that he is fully aligned with his father. Some reports suggest that Queen Elizabeth had left behind contingency plans for dealing with Harry and Meghan, anticipating the turbulence they would bring. But even the best-laid plans may not be enough to undo the damage that has already been done. One of the most debated questions remains: will King Charles strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles? The battle over titles. Will Harry and Meghan be stripped of royal status? One of the most powerful tools at King Charles's disposal is the ability to remove Harry and Meghan's titles. While they are no longer working royals, they still retain the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles. Could Charles legally take those titles away? The answer is complex. While the king does have the authority to make such a decision, it would require parliamentary approval, a move that could spark a constitutional debate. The bigger question is whether Charles wants to take such a drastic step. Removing the titles would officially sever Harry and Meghan's connection to the monarchy, but it could also escalate tensions. It would also impact their children, Archie and Lilibet, who recently received royal titles of their own. Would this be a strategic move to protect the crown, or a step too far? As King Charles weighs his options, his primary concern remains the long-term future of the monarchy. King Charles's concern for the future of the monarchy. King Charles knows that he is ruling during a critical time for the monarchy. With growing Republican sentiments in the UK and Commonwealth nations re-evaluating their ties to the crown, any scandal could weaken the institution. Harry's actions, from his explosive interviews to his memoir, have only added to the monarchy's challenges. Charles fears that if left unchecked, similar crises could arise in the future, jeopardizing William's eventual reign. By issuing his warning, Charles hopes to put an end to the turmoil once and for all. But will his efforts succeed, or will Harry and Meghan continue down their own path? While Charles focuses on protecting the monarchy, another pressing question lingers. What did Queen Elizabeth really leave for Harry and Meghan? The royal will. What Queen Elizabeth really left for Harry and Meghan? For years, Queen Elizabeth II maintained a diplomatic silence regarding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's departure from the royal family. However, many royal watchers believe that her actions spoke louder than words, especially when it came to her will and the distribution of her vast personal fortune. Following her passing in September 2022, speculation grew over whether Harry and Meghan had been included in her estate. Traditionally, members of the royal family inherit properties, jewelry, and assets carefully allocated through centuries-old traditions. However, early reports suggested that Harry and Meghan were left out of any significant inheritances. Meghan, in particular, did not receive any jewelry or royal heirlooms, fueling speculation that the Queen had distanced herself from her grandson's wife in her final years. Some sources claim that the Queen intentionally adjusted her estate plans after Harry and Meghan's exit, ensuring that her wealth remained within the working royals. Others believe that Harry may have received private financial support from the Queen while she was alive, making further inheritance unnecessary. Could the will provide clues about the Queen's true feelings toward the Sussexes? And will its contents ever be fully revealed to the public? While the mystery of Queen Elizabeth's will continues to intrigue royal watchers, Harry and Meghan's reaction to King Charles's recent warning has only intensified speculation about their future. Harry and Meghan's reaction to the warning. The reported warning from King Charles potentially involving the loss of their royal titles and complete severance from the monarchy, was not taken lightly by Harry and Meghan. For a couple who built their brand on royal connections, such a move would be a major blow. But how did they respond? According to insiders, Meghan was particularly outraged, viewing the warning as a personal attack. Having carefully crafted a global image as a philanthropist, entrepreneur, and former duchess, losing her royal title would strip her of a key part of her identity. Meghan has long argued that the royal family mistreated her, and being formally stripped of her title would likely fuel that narrative. Harry, on the other hand, found himself in an even more difficult position. Despite his public criticisms of the monarchy, he has maintained a complicated emotional connection to his family, particularly to his father and late mother, Princess Diana. King Charles's warning may have left him torn. Should he stand firm with Meghan, or should he attempt to mend fences? For now, neither Harry nor Meghan have directly responded to Charles's warning in public. But with tensions rising, could a legal battle or media retaliation be on the horizon? As tensions between the Sussexes and the monarchy escalate, the media's role in shaping public perception continues to play a crucial part in the unfolding drama. The media war, royal leaks, and public perception. The battle between Harry and Meghan and the British royal family has not just been fought behind palace walls. It has played out in the global media, with both sides attempting to control the narrative. The British press has been relentless in its criticism of the Sussexes, with tabloids frequently portraying Meghan as manipulative and Harry as misguided. Some speculate that the royal family itself has leaked damaging stories to the press to maintain their own image. On the other hand, Harry and Meghan have also used the media to their advantage, securing exclusive interviews, producing Netflix documentaries, and publishing tell-all books that cast the royals in a negative light. Social media has further fueled the controversy. While some online communities continue to support Harry and Meghan's independence, others accuse them of hypocrisy, pointing out their continued use of royal titles while criticizing the institution. With public opinion divided, the question remains: is Harry and Meghan's strategy helping or hurting their long-term reputation? And will King Charles's warning force them to rethink their approach? While the media battle rages on, one royal figure has remained mostly silent: Prince William. But what is his true stance on the issue? The role of Prince William. Can he fix the royal divide? For much of the royal drama, Prince William has chosen silence over confrontation. As the future king, he has focused on his own responsibilities rather than engaging in public disputes with his younger brother. However, insiders suggest that behind closed doors, William has been deeply frustrated by Harry's actions. Unlike their father, who has shown occasional gestures of reconciliation, William's stance appears far less forgiving. Some sources claim that William was fully supportive of King Charles's warning, believing that stripping Harry and Meghan of their titles would be a necessary step in preserving the monarchy's integrity. The tension between the brothers has been undeniable. Since Harry and Meghan's departure, they have been seen together only a handful of times, with no signs of reconciliation. Could William eventually step in as a peacemaker, or is their relationship too fractured to repair? Beyond family disputes, one of Harry's greatest concerns has been his security in the UK. With Charles's warning hanging over him, could his access to royal protection be at risk? The question of security, Harry's biggest concern. Since stepping back from royal duties, Prince Harry has been locked in a legal battle over security arrangements for his family when visiting the UK. Without official royal status, his access to taxpayer-funded security was revoked, leading him to argue that his family is vulnerable to threats. King Charles's warning raises further questions about Harry's future security. If he is formally stripped of royal privileges, his ability to access certain protections could become even more difficult. Harry has insisted that without proper security, he cannot safely return to the UK with Meghan and their children. Could this ongoing struggle over safety further complicate his relationship with his family? While Harry fights for security in the UK, another major issue is threatening his and Meghan's carefully built public brand, their commercial deals with Netflix and Spotify. The Netflix-Spotify deals Have they gone too far? Harry and Meghan's lucrative media deals have been a double-edged sword. While they have provided financial independence from the royal family, they have also drawn criticism for their repeated focus on royal grievances. King Charles reportedly warned Harry about continuing to exploit his royal connections for financial gain. With the couple's multi-million-dollar Netflix and Spotify deals relying heavily on their ties to the monarchy, what happens if they are stripped of their titles? Critics argue that their projects, from the Harry and Meghan documentary to Spare, have focused too much on airing royal dirty laundry rather than creating fresh, original content. Could losing their royal status affect future deals and public interest in their work? As Harry and Meghan navigate their post-royal lives in America, the question remains, can they truly balance their new identity with their old one? The American dream versus the British crown. Since moving to California, Harry and Meghan have embraced a new identity as philanthropists, entrepreneurs, and media personalities. But is their attempt to redefine themselves at odds with their royal past? Their life in Montecito, filled with celebrity friends and high-profile deals, is a stark contrast to the traditions of the British monarchy. While they have built a life outside royal duties, the ongoing connection to their titles and royal status suggests that a clean break has never truly happened. Could there ever be a future where Harry and Meghan return to royal life? Or will they continue carving out their new American identity, regardless of King Charles's warning? As the drama between the Sussexes and the royal family unfolds, one question remains. What does the future hold for the monarchy itself? The future of the royal family. What happens next? With King Charles's reign still in its early years, his handling of the Harry and Meghan controversy could define his legacy. Will he take decisive action to protect the monarchy, or will he attempt to find a way to repair the rift? Some experts believe that this conflict could mark a turning point for the royal family. If handled poorly, it could fuel anti-monarchist sentiments and weaken the institution's public standing. However, if Charles successfully navigates the situation, it could strengthen the monarchy's stability for years to come. One thing is certain, the world is watching. Whether this is the final chapter of the royal feud or just another twist in the saga, the fate of the monarchy hangs in the balance. Will King Charles's last stand be enough to preserve the crown? Or will Harry and Meghan's departure signal the beginning of the monarchy's decline? Only time will tell. As the tensions between King Charles, Prince Harry, and Meghan Markle continue to unfold, one question remains. Is this the beginning of the end for their royal ties? Or is there still a chance for reconciliation? The King's reported warning to Harry is not just a personal plea. It is a strategic move to protect the monarchy from further controversy. But will it work? Harry and Meghan have built a new life in America, yet their ties to the royal family remain at the center of their public identity. If King Charles follows through on his ultimatum, stripping them of their royal titles and cutting them off completely, their carefully built brand could suffer irreparable damage. Would they accept their new reality, or would they retaliate with further media projects, revealing even more royal secrets? For King Charles, the stakes are higher than ever. His reign is still young, and how he handles this ongoing crisis could define his legacy. If he acts too harshly, he risks being seen as a distant father and a monarch unwilling to forgive. If he does nothing, he risks allowing Harry and Meghan to continue shaping the royal narrative from afar. Meanwhile, the world watches as Prince William remains silent. The Queen's will remains a mystery, and the media war continues to shape public perception. Will this be the final chapter in the royal rift? Or is there another dramatic twist yet to come? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. This is a defining moment for the monarchy, one that could alter the future of the British royal family forever.